Senator Victor Ume, the governorship candidate in Abia State, Mr. Alex Otti, and the presidential candidate of the party in the just concluded general election, Mr. Peter Obi, during Obi's appreciation visit to Abia State over the weekend. I think he was also in Edo at some point, basically saying thank you to a few of the states.
Yes, I saw the
where he
pictures
won
he posted on
overwhelmingly. Yes.
Twitter, yeah.
Those are the stories, KK.
Yeah, I think it's in order to start with the photograph. I think it makes a very loud statement. And I think it's quite a good thing that even while still contesting the result of the presidential election, he's already on the hustings, for the gubernatorial elections. And I think by going to Abia, I think that will be a very big boost to Alex Otti. Yes, which, and if you want full disclosure, is my friend. Alex is my friend, and I really wish him well. I wish, but I think it's a good thing that the gubernatorial elections, elections are being taken seriously, by the candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi. Now, the lead story of this day on Sunday, very interesting. And that just tells you about politicians, While in one breath, we would say that, within the political landscape, that there is rejection of the results of the election, but in some of that, people are already making calculation and trying to get the configuration of what will happen at the National Assembly post May 29. So I think it's just in the nature of politics. But the point to emphasize there is that there's something significant, and that is why that point should not be lost, in the argument for or against the validity of the election. Is that the results of February 2025 election, has shown, has produced, a very diverse, National Assembly. That now you are not just talking of a National Assembly, dominated by one party or even two parties. That you have, but which I think it is good, for the practice of liberal democracy in Nigeria. So I guess in the next few days or in the next few weeks, you are going to hear a lot of gladiators, people who want to hold positions in the National Assembly, not just from the APC, because you also will expect that there will be alliances, amongst political parties, especially when you remember what happened in 2015, when
2015.
No,
2015.
Yeah, 2015.
Okay.
That is, just shortly after the election, when you are with the election in the National Assembly, that even within APC, which was the national party, a division and you have an alignment.
They couldn't exactly.
So I'm just trying to
PDP and
make a projection that you are going to have possibilities, of alliances, taking place. That
that's true.
That the coming days will be very interesting, especially after the judicial conclusion, of the election.
And it looks like religion too will play a part, given the configuration, of the executive. President-elect is a Muslim, Vice President-elect is a Muslim. So what this is saying there is that it is likely that wherever that will be zoned to for Senate presidency will have to be a Christian, which I suppose is giving a lot of people from the southeast.
That definitely, from all indications, that was part of the calculation,
Absolutely.
So it's got a lot of factors will have to come into play. And
same sentiment that is also playing within the APC, where the chairman of the party, you remember when the chairman of APC came for an interview here, we told him that if your candidate and the vice presidential candidate become the president and the vice president, it therefore means that your own position as a chairman, being a Muslim, will be a bit shaky. And that's what is playing out even within APC now.
Maybe on a different, that's similar to what is playing out
In PDP.
in PDP.
That's true.
So I think in the calculus, a lot of factors will come into play. And definitely, like we said, religion will be one of them. But one other very important story, on the front page is the story of the window. That is the statement from the Nigeria Meteorological Agency, NIMET, about predicting that they're going to have a lot of thunderstorms and the impact of this on the aviation industry. The implication of that is that you are going to have delays, maybe even cancellation of flights. And also the risk, to airplane, and the suggestions already given, as to what the people in the aviation industry, should do.
We need to do.
It's something that should be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Why this should be emphasized is that this same agency every year, gives, the flood, alerts. Prediction, But discover that yearly, people, the respective agencies of government, at local government level, at state level, they ignore, this warning.
Such alerts.
And every year, what we have is a flood disaster. You start, talking of body counts. How many people have died? How many villages on towns have been destroyed? So let us hope that the warning, about thunderstorms this year will not be treated, the same way as the flood warnings have been treated, because of the risk to that industry, and generally the impact of thunderstorms on people and their property.
Well, did you touch on the story that Steve mentioned? The Labour Party threatens to occupy INEC office.
Yes, that is also a very important story. Yes, I think the principle that people have the right to protest in a democracy.
Yeah.
But quickly, it should also be added that protest also should be according to the law. That should be, according to the law, and that decidedly, it should be peaceful.
Yes.
But in the specific case of what constitutes the grievance of Labour Party in this case, the question to ask is that, as the Labour Party or the supporters of Labour Party have they exhausted all the judicial possibilities? Because if you say
to get INEC to respect the judgment.
Yes, because after if the court has given an order, and any agency of government, or government itself is not complying with it, you still have room, to go to court and compel,
That's right.
Which is what we are going to witness, this week about
with the CBN,
with the CBN and federal government, that a week after the federal government, after the Supreme Court,
gave a
judgment, there hasn't been any clear response, from the federal government, that is, speaking through the Attorney General, or the agency of federal government, in which case the central bank, So, but from what maybe
the
as we see,
other
stories,
other papers,
those who are the plaintiffs in that case, they see the possibility of taking further steps to get the federal government to obey. So that should be factored in, by the obedience. But as a matter of principle, democratically, people have the right to protest.
Yes.
And the protest should be according to law, and it must be peaceful.
All right. We had Badebo earlier, and we asked him a few questions regarding that nationwide protest. But I guess the angst right now is the fact that the Labour Party is claiming that obviously INEC has already gotten that judgment or the order to continue to reconfigure the BVAS. So if they're going to go ahead to reconfigure the BVAS without providing the documents to their presidential candidate, that is why they are saying they will come out en masse to go and protest in front of the INEC office, which I think it's this idea of this flagrant disrespect for the rule of law at this point. I mean, the court approved for Peter Obi and I believe the PDP as well to access those documents way before INEC went on appeal to reconfigure the BVAS. And as we speak, the Labour Party is claiming that they have not gotten the approval or they have not gotten those documents. So, I mean, I don't think that it is necessary for, this type of press release to come out if only there's this respect for the rule of law. And that's my take on the story.
But there's a contradiction in that.
Tell me.
What you are saying. The Labour Party went to court to compel INEC to allow Peter Obi, to have access, to BVAS, for inspection.
Yeah.
INEC also went to court, for a review, asking, court, for permission, for an order, for it. To configure the zone and put this in place preparatory to the next election. So what I'm saying is that it's not as if INEC, even from the, I'm just reviewing your statement. It's not as if INEC on its own just decides, not to obey the law, because INEC also is also taking judicial steps. So that is why it will be advisable for both parties.
Yeah, but the judgment that the Labour got is subsistent.
What is the contradiction?
But what I'm saying is that INEC also got order of the court.
It didn't invalidate the court order.
No, what I'm saying that you cannot sit here to decide whether it invalidates or it does not invalidate. Okay. It is also a higher court that will determine whether it is high. So it is not for us to decide whether it is not for us to decide. No, it is not for us to decide which order is superior to the other. I'm saying that the lawyers of both sides, of both parties, will know what to do by going to court to get a higher court on what to do.
Let's that is the only way to avoid at this style before we check another newspaper. This style.
All right, I guess we can continue on that conversation after the show because I want to understand your point.
It's an important conversation.
Yes, very. All right. And the cover story there is Odio Hosseini. She is paving the way, fashion designer extraordinaire. I mean, I have worked with her before, and she is she's a force to reckon with. She's amazing. And, she is the she's the force behind Audio Monet, the fashion label. And it's a pseudonym that was coined from Mimi, and the name Claude Monet. She's a graduate of Yaba College of Technology and London College of Fashion. Audio is one of Nigeria's prominent fashion designers and has worked in the fashion industry for over 25 years. It's very awarded that they highlighted her on This Day Style on this edition. I guess it's a good one. A good one to grab. All right.
That's a beautiful smile on the cover there.
Yes. She's amazing. I love her.
Okay.
All right. Should we move over to other stories?
let's do Sunday Sun. Sunday Sun very quickly. The lead story there says APC, PDP, Labour Party, NMPP in tough battle. I think this is essentially a review, towards the Saturday Guba election and the State Assembly polls. APC re-strategizes, promises to be magnanimous to other parties. Labour Party says election postponement, BVAS reconfiguration unsettling, a few other things. But on below that story, presidential poll, constitutional lawyers disagree as Tinubu, Atiku, Obi begin legal fireworks. But so as not to make everything look like it's all politics, on top of the lead story there, kidnappers raid Abuja Estate, abduct 9. That's on page 26 of today's The Sun. But you see, there's no way we really can run away from politics. On the window there, presidential poll, Obi is my hero. That's Wike talking. Says without Labour Party candidate, North will have retained power. And then again, back to the 10th National Assembly, while Jikalu is most qualified to be Senate President. That's Okeke, Anambra APC stalwart, talking about it. Owo attack, Governor Akeredolu begins construction of Memorial Park. That is a memory of the scores of people who were killed. And cholera, sadly, killed 2 in Ebonyi. Last but not the least, sudden shift of Guba State Assembly polls suspicious that SpanDev berates INEC.
All right, let's take the Sunday Tribune with that as well. The lead story, casualties over search for elusive Naira notes. The riders there, 4 slum, die in Kwara, 3 in Oyo. Reject old Naira notes or go to jail, says Ekiti governor, warns business owners. And then there's a special report, POS operators as emergency financial superpowers. Another story above the masthead there. March 18th election, APC, PDP, LP in last-minute jostle for votes. The riders there, parties form alliances in Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, others. And then another story, a window story there. No end in sight yet for global food crisis, IMF warns. And then I guess we'll take one more story there. Human angle story. Generator fume kills mother, baby, and baby in Ondo State. This is
sad. That's sad.
Heart-wrenching, really. All right, Mr. Komolafe, really quickly, we don't have
just
much
quickly, we don't
time.
have much time.
Which story do you want to take?
Well, it's it's all politics.
Yeah.
But just show that maybe there's something positive in the momentum in that. Therefore, we should expect a greater voter turnout for the state election, that is the gubernatorial and state assembly election. You are talking of the election of a government that is nearer to the people, that people will be more interested, because one question mark which is often ignored about the February 25 election is the poor, voter turnout. So let us hope now that
all right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Komolafe. The conversation continues.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, all right.